on this project itself. That we can see some of you guys actually have submitted the works over here. This is project 2 for week 9. All right. Okay, so you guys can see, okay, some of you guys, some of your friends basically, right, okay, they actually have been upload their progressions, all right, the progressions there, okay. One of the most important thing that I want to see from your progressions right here, guys, is all about how you develop and improve back again your drawing strokes. Okay, your drawing skills over here. They're not going to be involved in any characters yet, okay, but you need basically to improve more on your kind of understanding, all right, from the previous kind of project that you've been done, okay, with this one, okay. We need to understand, okay, how to develop the right kind of strokes over here. If we take a look at how actually I evolve basically back again the methods of improving my kind of line works, this is something that people always forget or assume, okay, when they start to draw or applying basically based on the reference there. Okay, this is the reference that I did basically. Okay, this is not basically our entire kind of what we call it projects there, right? But I did basically do some demonstration, extra demonstration, right, to show some of your friends basically. Hope you guys also can learn from here how actually I'm going to improve more on our drawing strokes when it comes to draw based from the reference there. I had this kind of discussion with one of your friends before the, okay. They say basically, okay, how actually I'm going to improve them, okay, based on what I actually have been developed right here, okay. Because when we look back again to her basically submissions with the drawings itself, okay, the project 1 basically done, okay. I know basically she can draw the, okay, but the point is right now whether you actually applying in the right way or not. That's basically the thing that you have to consider a bit more further there, okay. May I know basically who actually this is there, okay? Mayway, is it? Is it Mayway? MW? Mayway? Is it right? Am I pronouncing the right names here? Mayway is in the classroom, is it? Any Mayway here? No? Okay, let me share with you guys there, okay? What actually that Mayway actually have done there, okay? This is one of her work basically that based on our second kind of projects there, right, okay? Okay, why actually I want to choose Mayway as a part of the example over here, okay? Comparing to what you actually have done, maybe some of you guys right here have done very quite good job there, okay? And but the rest of you guys who still need to develop your understanding there, okay? Take a look closely how actually right your friend over here try to develop it more understanding how to controlling their drawing stroke difference. The shadings that we apply from your illustrations are going to be a secondary kind of what we call that efforts directly or progressions directly that can be support your illustrations there. But the main thing that you have to understand first, how to draw or control your pressures in the right way. All right, pressures in the right way. This is some of the what we call the illustration that she actually have done for our first projects there, right? Okay, I want to show you guys right here. Okay, this is the one that she did basically there, okay, that applying according to the reference that they're not actually right. She's not trying to develop any characters design or elements from any kind of different elements from those reference there. Why basically she actually start to work with the original kind of reference there, okay? Because she know basically right, she going to spend a lot of time basically to think about how to develop a new element for this character. That's why I didn't actually encourage you guys to work on that. I really doesn't encourage what we call it students to develop some new kind of characters that if you don't know how to apply or to improve your drawing skills there first, right? But those who actually have that kind of understanding about their kind of drawing skills, they can actually try to explore a bit more further, okay? but not all of you guys will have the same kind of level of skills. That's why, if you want to recap back again, I never basically try to develop other kind of beyond from our reference there. But I did basically show you guys how to improvise a little bit, but not applying the whole thing, not to change the whole things there, right? Okay, remember that. Because one of the most important thing, right, okay, the main objective of our lessons is all about to improve your drawing skill levels. Not about this kind of drawing skills. Try to develop a very solid drawing skills before you're going to apply any kind of shadings there. Can you look at my shadings over here? My shadings is nothing there, guys. It's nothing there. Okay? Except I'm going to control the pressure, point and size and shades there, okay, according to those reference to guide me to develop the tone, values, and volume there, okay, that basically can form basically the whole structure of those designs. But what helped my illustrations become more strong enough there, right? Because of those drawings there. And why drawing is really important here? Why drawing is really important here? The sketch line drawing is really important. It's not all about how you draw and trace or draw on top of the layers, all this kind of reference, and then you submit them and you feel that you have complete the test. Right? The challenging that you're going to face not only these semesters, but for the future semesters. When they come, when you want to develop basically your characters, your design, your visuals there, your kind of what we call that design elements there, okay? Your kind of ideas there, okay, that you want to throw on the first phase there, okay. I want to ask you guys, when you draw these kind of styles of drawings, exactly the styles of not elements there, but not subject matters there, the styles of drawings like this. Ask you guys back again. Can you draw something like this there? Okay. You want to draw some sort of very simple shapes there, okay, for example, there, right? Okay, I'm using black tone there, okay? You want to draw very simple shapes like this, all right? What I'm trying to do right now there, okay? Using a very simple shape like this, I want to design basically a simple characters there. A simple characters there, right? Check, look how actually I draw them right now there, guys. Okay? How I actually conduct my kind of line there. How actually I coordinate basically my hands when I draw there, right? This is not basically, right, okay, my type of drawing skills there. But this is something that we, as a designers, has to know how, not to design, okay, to apply our drawing skills. Can you see that, right? How long is it to develop a characters based on the very simple shapes? All right. Ask back again to yourself, or you can actually practice them back there, right? Can you draw something like this there, right? You get a very confidence line when you draw, and you can actually apply different kind of elements there to develop your ideas using this kind of method of sketching there. Looks simple there, right? But can you do it there? Not because you like it, but can you apply the same methods of drawing skills? We're not talking about perfect drawings. We're not talking about super realistic kind of drawings. We're talking about how to develop those ideas. You want to draw, let's just say, motorbike there, right? Or a bike there, or scooters there. Using basically your kind of understanding. Okay, right now, what I try to do here right now, there, right? You see, I'm developing a sketches there, right? A sketches, right? To draw basically what? The scooters there. Okay. Don't talk about how can you draw anime very good, right? Draw a simple kind of ideas like this. And then, okay, you're talking about developing those ideas for your storyboard, for example, directly. We're not talking about a specific kind of styles here right now. Okay. How long does it take, guys? We're talking about the methods and techniques to work on your ideas, whatever that you have in mind there. Right now, when I ask you guys to do something, right, okay, spontaneously, right, spontaneously there, right, okay, can you do it as I actually show you guys right now? Anyone can? Yes or no? Anyone, right, okay? Put yes or no, right, okay? Can you do it spontaneously with the right kind of methods and techniques? Okay, we got around how many people is right here? Around 19 there, okay? Why you can't there, right? Okay, I want to hear from those 18 and 19 students there, okay, right here. Anyone can draw spontaneously. Because these are going to be your kind of worlds right now there, guys. Anyone there, okay? Please say that, okay, yes or no. If no one say no there, okay, I'm going to test you guys, okay? Why, Kyo, you can, okay? You can draw well there, Kyo. Right, I see your drawings there. You have those confidence. Don't pretend then, right, okay? You cannot do it there, okay? It's simple things there. Why you can't there, right, okay? Please explain to me. Right, anyone there, okay? I just want you, we want to have that kind of, this kind of conversation because we want to know basically ourselves there, okay? Because this is really important, guys, okay? Whenever that I actually do it, my works, right, okay? I also always not basically what we call that denying or basically have that kind of what we call that a worriedness there, okay, about the our skills there, not about that, okay. It's basically the confidence level that we develop here. All right, the confidence level that we develop here, okay, is basically are going to be a part of our experience that we're going to face it basically in the future, okay, because this is the reality things there, guys. That's why I always emphasize on those drawings rather than those shadings there. Even though shading is also important like, to support basically our form of our illustration itself, okay? But without the proper kind of drawing skills, shadings is nothing, right? People will look more on your mistakes there, okay? When your shading is not right, normally, right? That's why we have to be careful with it because I see a lot of people actually right try to shade too much there, right, okay? And end up basically there, okay? The whole compositions, the whole proportion of that subject matters are wrong there, okay? Why? Because they don't cover themselves with their drawing skills. Because this method that I actually teach you guys, okay, for the rest of the students also, okay, is how actually you can to draw a bit more, what we call that faster. At the same time, you can actually learn those kind of shadings to create those form and show a little bit kind of detailing there, okay. And the perfections that you actually call perfections, I'm not calling the perfection, okay. Normally, that people love to see those kind of perfection, like or aesthetical values, are going to become naturally there. They will be appear naturally there, okay. Once basically you develop that kind of right kind of strokes. But to develop the strokes need times there. 8, 7, 9 weeks, 10, 14 weeks is not enough, but we have to do a bit kind of intensive kind of exercise and developing from there. That's why I came from this project too, there, right? Because I've seen back again all the submission, okay? Some of you guys basically need more extra attention on that. Okay? For example, there, guys, okay? Let me check basically back again, right? I saw one of your friends just now, right? When I actually evaluate them. Right. Luckily, basically, when I choose his works, he's actually in the classroom there, right? So I can actually give some big kind of comment from there, and hopefully she can improve. He can improve, but not from the previous one. From the project 2, please improve more from there. All right. Because that's how actually we can actually improve and learn back again our lessons and mistakes there, right? Okay. Where is it again just now? Okay, let me check here back again. Okay, let me check the Clarissa there, right? All right, like this one, Clarissa there, okay. So can you see basically, okay, what are the problem with this kind of drawings over here? What kind of what we call that mistake that she actually have done, okay? It's all about those drawing strokes. All right, drawing strokes there. All right, Clarissa, if you hear me there, okay, later on in these videos, please improve more on your drawing strokes before you go to add some shadings there, okay? Because the shadings that actually have thought you guys were not came from this kind of methods there. But I think she's begin to develop it more further understanding, because I know basically it takes time, okay? But don't worry too much on developing the shadings, rather you improve more on your drawing skills there first. Make sure the proportions, the line work, the stroke are going to be right there first before you're going to apply basically those kind of shadings. Shadings can be improved from time to time. Okay? I learned about those shadings quite some time there, okay? But I do actually improve a lot more further on my drawings. Then I'm going to improve those shadings from time to time, right? It will be there, okay? Don't worry too much, okay, on the shadings or how to play with some colors there, okay? Because I believe next semesters, if we are going to meet each other again, okay, on the digital kind of illustrations, okay, kind of subjects, hopefully, if you're not sharing with other kind of lectures, okay, but if I'm going to conduct them, I'm going to apply the same methods there, guys, okay? One of the most important thing is, before you're going to play with some colors, of course, your color theories, warm to color kind of what we call that knowledge is important there. But one of the most important thing when you want to play with some colors, when you start shading and colors there, right, is how you control your pressures, your flows, the size, the radius size of your brushes according to the form when you want to shade them up. Okay, when you paint it up, it's really important there. Okay, that's why this semesters we focus on these two things, drawings and shadings there. But make sure that you improve more on your drawing skill from now on. Okay, my suggestions, those who cannot control using the ink brushes yet, I'm not saying that you cannot use them. You can explore them, right? Experiment them. You can start with those pencil drawings back again. Then you can mix them up. My kind of illustrations here that I actually did right now, basically using those ink brushes there, right? But if we check, look here there again, this kind of illustrations over here, I mixed up with ink brushes, right? Ink brushes over here. And the hairline, I'm combining with pencil and also ink brushes at the same time. Okay? And mix them up there, both. And what are the things that people always mix some of the mistake when they draw the writing? One of the common mistake that we saw. Let's just say they're using this pencil, ink brushes, right? They draw like this one, right? Okay? They draw like this one. Okay? The movements, okay? So you see the movements there? Even though I can control the pressures, but they draw in one single kind of directions there, okay? To practice basically your kind of movements of your hands when you draw. You see? What are the difference there? And I actually try not to control, not try to trace the whole thing, but I'm moving my hands according to the strokes that I actually can apply back again the textures that form basically those eyebrow there, right? You see that? And it will came naturally there, right? It will came naturally like the eyebrow that you're supposed to draw. You see that? And I didn't actually draw like this one there, right? Okay? Anyone draw like this, totally wrong. How actually I'm going to apply them? Okay, change those brushes there first, right? To erase. I always zoom in a little bit, even though it's pixelized a bit there, right? You see how actually I draw them. This is one of the way, not the only way there, guys. But how actually I try to repeat the line there, guys, okay? But control the strokes, the line at the same times. Can you see? Control them. I'm using 10 point of size of my brushes over here. You see how I actually control them really well. And the results are going to be, there is a quality of line basically that I apply from this drawing skill. For those who actually have hard time to improve your drawing skill, yes, I can admit, okay, it's not that easy there, guys, to work on that. But anything possible there. It's all about how to control your hand. You the one who control your kind of actions there. Okay, to draw the eyes. I know it's quite complicated to draw the whole thing if you trace this, the what we call that. You can actually using the kind of tracing kind of methods for those eyes there. But can you see how actually I draw them right now? Okay, look closely there, right? I draw the iris there, right? And then the pupil inside, you can see the pupil shape inside there. Look carefully when you draw. A lot of people doesn't look at those things there. Okay, when I get basically that, when I actually got those kind of shapes of those eyes, because this one we can make it up, okay? We can make them up, okay? Even though you can draw and trace back and according to those reference to make it more realistic, but comparing to those kind of techniques, and now I create some highlights over here, there, right? And now I render them up. But when I render, I didn't press too much there, guys. People press too much over here. Control bit there, right? Do some sort of like a circling kind of etching there. And I change the level of tone when I come to draw those, to shade those iris there, right? And the movements that you said, okay, up and down there, right? Okay, the movements there. And I try to what we call the differentiate between iris and the pupil at the same time, right? Okay, to create some contrast. You see how basically realistic it can be with these eyes without actually tracing back again as from those reference. People don't actually look at what I do basically normally. Okay? I saw basically a lot of students. Okay, same goes to this one, but I'm using pencil brushes. The methods, the techniques, the same, the guys are going to be the same. But the only difference between it, right? Because what we call that, I'm using basically some white colors. Okay, just like using a Conte, what we call that white Conte charcoals. Okay, to add into your kind of tone, because I'm using gray scale kind of what we call that gray kind of what we call that backgrounds over here. All right, I just simply use them because I want to make some sort of different kind of mood, okay, and values on my drawing itself, my studies on drawing itself. Right. So can you see that? Okay, how softly that actually, right, gentle enough. Basically, I try to control my pressures there. Okay, I didn't trace the whole thing. Applying basically the methods that actually going to be work when you want to develop, basically, are you using white colors over here? We add a bit kind of detailings on those eyes to make the eyes a bit more pop up, like the highlights there itself. In terms of drawings, methods, and illustrations kind of methods. Okay, same goes to the nose shapes. Where do I start to draw first? Okay, I'm going to start to draw from this side there first. When I draw, sometimes people doesn't know, okay, they start to draw like this one there, right? It become weird there, guys, okay? If you're not actually right, follow through those kind of right kind of way to start to draw those kind of shapes. By right, okay, this part basically, right, you didn't have to draw them there, right? Yeah. You didn't have to draw them. I draw basically right, okay, on those background layers there, my bad. Okay, take a look basically, right, okay? Am I actually draw the whole thing, right, to develop the shapes? Look carefully while you draw there, right? While you actually saw basically my demonstrations over here, my kind of results there, right? When I draw those kind of shapes there, okay, nose shapes, okay, you can actually draw nose shapes in any kind of way there, okay. But if you have that kind of understanding, it's not that hard for you to draw those shapes there. You understand the whole structures there, right, okay, by looking at things there. I know basically we can do this kind of constructive line back again, okay, but I saw some of your friends who try hard enough those constructive line, they end up confused back again. They isn't confused there, right? Okay. So why don't you actually write? Use reference, draw them back on top of it, and learn back again how to control that. Simple kind of task, but people always assuming that they know how to work on that, and they end up to make it those drawing become worse there. This is basically some of the result that you can saw from your friend there, right? Okay. Everything is in front of you. You just have to improve your drawing skills there first. Okay. I want to show you guys, okay, one of the methods that I actually use to apply basically some of the backgrounds there, right? Okay. Let's just say I have complete this kind of illustrations there, these illustrations there, okay. Even basically I'm not complete yet, okay. So what are the things that I always do, okay? The sample that I can show you guys over here, okay. Take a look how actually I add basically that this particular kind of, we call that blur kind of effects there, right? Okay, the blur kind of effects. So this kind of techniques, this kind of methods and techniques to presenting basically our illustration there, it will give basically some finishing kind of looks without you put a lot of extra efforts there. Let's just say you don't want to draw any kind of background there, okay? Because you want to focus on your subject matter there. So what you can do there, okay? I want to show you guys over here. I'm going to use, let's just say, okay, we have to add another layers, all right? Add another layers as a background. And then I'm using soft brushes over here. Okay, when you use soft brushes, always remember, always adjust the flow. Then, when you have this kind of soft brushes over here, adjust the color at the same times. Then you start to paint them. Okay, when you paint them up, okay, if you don't want to make your kind of background or your shadows become a bit more like dirty or what we call that, a bit kind of what we call a sloppy there, okay. What you can do, adjust the size according to the space that you want to paint first. All right. For example, like this, I'm using the different layers there. Okay. So when you have that kind of adjustment, right, on the size there, okay. Because some people, when they actually doesn't adjust, okay, they become like this one there, right. Okay. They become sloppy, right. Sometimes it works for a certain kind of occasions there, but not all the times. Okay, that's why you adjust the size again. Even though when I actually want to, what we call that shades, okay, this kind of shadows over here. Okay, I'm going to adjust the size. Let's just say that, okay, I'm adjust the size and I'm going to paint it right. See, See, adjust the size a bit and control the pressures at the same time. Always, right? Okay? Controlling pressures is really important there. Okay? Otherwise, you won't be able to manage in the right way, in the proper way, basically to develop basically your kind of understanding in order to develop your kind of. Can you see the writing? How fast basically I can actually manage to work on that and add a bit more further on my kind of detailings there. Okay, yeah, add a bit more kind of detailing there. Okay, even though I'm not completely right, but it can be a part of styles there. So that's how actually you control the basically the shadows and also the shades, the size, the space, and the pressures there, right? So let's just say I'm going to use white colors there to add some sort of glow effects on the backgrounds here. But I'm going to use these brushes, okay? Hard, round, pressure, opacity, and flows. Okay, this one. So I'm maintaining the flows using white colors there. Adjust a little bit on the size. How actually I adjust the size quickly there, right? Okay? I'm using the bracket kind of close bracket and open bracket kind of what we call that key there, okay, to change. My left hand basically I'm going to use to change those key there, right? So I'm going to pop a little bit like this, see? Not too much there, right? Okay? Change the size a little bit, okay? You see that, right? They become a bit more glowing there, okay? And the whole presentations, all right, of this subject matter become different there, okay? They become a bit kind of they appear a little bit kind of like memories there, okay? They're romanticism kind of what we call that elements there. You see that? Okay? With the simple kind of what we call that methods, we can actually give a bit kind of glowing moments of these illustrations here. Okay, simple kind of test, right? But it gives a huge kind of impact on your presentation. This is something that you guys can explore. Okay, you guys can explore from here. All right. Any questions? Remember that, guys. Okay, practice those kind of line works. Okay, when it comes to draw. Any questions there? Any kind of inquiries on our project 2 there, right? All right, guys, open up your webcam for a while. I want to check you guys whether you guys were here or not, right? Okay? Open up your webcam there, right? Then we can close them back. All right, everyone, open up their webcam there, right? Okay, for a while there, right? Come on there, right? Open up there. Just for a while, then we actually can close them back there, right? Okay? I want to make sure that you guys paying attention on that. All right, see. All right, Kokoda, okay. Kun Ying, right. Any questions? Are you sure? All right. All right, open up, guys, okay? Each one of you guys over here, right now. I just want to see your face over here, okay, for these evenings. Each one of you guys. Anyone actually just came over here? Anyone? Let me check over here. I know she was not here. Okay, everyone here there. Okay, thank you very much there. Except she. Wow. Oh, sorry there. Okay. This is not basically today's. Okay. All right. All right. Jing Chen is not here. Pei Yi, are you here, Pei Yi? Pei Yi is not here. All right. Okay. Any questions there on our project 2? We only have 5 different kind of reference material that actually have been provided to you guys. You need to draw them back, improve your drawing skill from there, because our third projects are going to be challenging a bit, because you're going to choose your kind of subject matters there. I'm not going to provide any materials anymore, because the tests are going to be how actually going to what we call that, find your own materials there, your reference, and then you combine them, two elements that human and animals there together there, right? Okay. But next week and the following weeks, we're going to do a little bit kind of exercise there, okay, a very light exercise there. All right. So because the improvements, the development and improvement has to be go on there, okay, until we reach basically our there, right? Okay. Because I always want to see your kind of progressions there. Okay, not the perfections, but the progressions there, right? Okay, in each one of you guys, hopefully there, right? Okay, but if you don't come to me there, okay, I won't be able to see that, right? That's basically the things. Any questions, any inquiries? Taluk, any inquiries over there? You want to say something? Sure. What happened to the mics there, okay? Why the mics doesn't work there, right?
No.
No?
Yeah. Do we need to add the bokeh on every drawings?
Which is the backgrounds, is it?
Yeah, the background with the dots.
I think the best way basically to present it, your kind of illustrations, to add those kind of backgrounds there. But you actually can apply also some of the different things that you find quite interesting that you can experiment at the same time there. I love to see you guys basically can explore. But the thing is, when you want to explore something, make sure you understand why you actually have to apply them. But of course, okay, the first thing that you have to remember, okay, whether you actually have developed the right kind of strokes or not. Because the technique that I actually show you guys basically, right, it's not basically the common techniques that that most people will try to apply to develop their skills there. But I mix them up around, okay? Why basically I mix around with the reference, draw on top of it the layers, and then you guys draw them back there, right? Because I have to treat most of you guys, not all of you guys, but most of you guys really had a hard time to draw. You can see there, okay? Even though I give you guys this kind of what we call it, this kind of lesson, this kind of developments there, okay, and techniques, okay, there's a lot of number of your friends still had a hard time to struggling to develop the skills there. Okay, if I actually give you guys the more kind of advanced kind of methods, or basically a more like a very common kind of way basically we train the students, right, okay, in traditional kind of methods, right, okay, I'm afraid that I think 50% of the students were not going to be improved, and they're going to be live with that kind of basically misery and kind of mistakes, okay, for the rest of their life there. Even though next in the semesters, okay, normally if I'm going to conduct, okay, I'm going to do a lot of this kind of techniques, applying them back, but the whole things will be changed when you develop the right kind of strokes there. How actually you're going to apply the right kind of stroke there, right? Okay, this is the question also that I get a lot already. Can you comparing between what I actually have done and your kind of drawings there? Comparing between your kind of observations. Put aside, okay, your drawings and mine, comparing back again, what are the things that you make mistakes from your strokes? Okay, those are the things there. Because I also learned something to develop basically my skill from there. Even though I have been explained a lot, and I've been read and look at some of the sample of the drawings a lot, okay, but always look back again, okay. For example, even though I'm not using the kind of comparison like that, okay, but the best way, you put your drawing and my drawing aside and take a look what are the things that you can improve from there. And of course, those demonstrations that actually have been show you guys over here, basically it's a part of those kind of way that you guys can take look back again, whether when you move your strokes, when you move your hands, when you control your pressures, you get the same kind of effects or not. All right. If you can't get the same effects, train back again your hands, because there is a muscle memory between our wrists, our hands, our mind, and our eyes there, that you have to learn to coordinate them. Okay. But not in the short times like this, 8 weeks, okay? Because everyone has this different kind of developments there. But try to develop them from time to time. Don't do it just because you have to submit your assignments there, right? If you just do it for the assignments only, I can assure you guys you won't be able to improve. But if you do it for the sake of your developments, okay, thank you very much, guys. You can close your kind of webcam directly. You will basically find a lot of kind of what we call that improvements that I get from there. So if you don't have any questions, I want to give a test. And you guys have to submit this test right here, right now, after you complete them. Okay, a simple test there, right? To test basically your drawing skills there, whether you're going to in the right way or not, okay? All right, give me one kind of what we call that. Anyone can give me one subject matters. Okay, a very simple subject, because this subject matters you the one who actually going to draw back again. But I will draw first. I will draw first, all right? Okay. Okay, give one subject matters there. Any subject matters came from any object that you want me to draw, they become a character there, right? One there, right? First. Anyone can suggest that. Any kind of subject matters came from fruits, came from object hierarchy, stationaries, because these subject matters are okay. Books there, okay, books. All right, books. Okay, how to draw them, okay? Do you need any reference or not? Do you need any reference or not? I can draw books without reference there, but do you need any reference or not? No reference. Just draw the books from your imaginations there, right? Okay. I want to show you guys, and I want you guys to draw back again later on how it works there. Okay. We close this one there first. All right. Okay, now, how are we going to start to draw without any reference there? You have seen books entire life, right? Okay, your entire life you saw books there, right? Anyone who haven't saw books yet? Okay, the way that we're going to construct them, books. Okay, first of all, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, books there, okay? So let's just say we design the books as a characters there. Okay, take a look how actually I draw them, okay? Using basically what? Using basically a basic shape there. I'm going to draw books from square there, right? Can you see how I actually draw first using those pencil lines? Okay, the sketch line there, right? Okay. Okay, the books itself there. Let's just say this is basically books there, right? You see? Yeah. So it became a characters, right? It became a characters there, right? So what I'm going to do here, okay, my kind of way to develop those characters there, okay? I'm going to start with all these basic shapes there, okay? So I'm going to draw a circles. Okay, take a look how I actually move my hands there, guys. And then another circles over here. Then I'm going to draw those mouth that using those half of the circles there, right? These are going to be the feet, thumb, all right? The eyebrows, using those rectangles, right? And then what else there, right? Okay? Then I'm going to draw basically those hands. Take a look how I actually draw those hands there, guys. Yeah. in the shapes of it, okay? Circles, right? Half of those cylinders there. See? This is basically our sketches there, guys. Why actually I draw this element of this, what we call that, legs were floating there, right? Because he's not a real human there, right? Okay? But we imitate this kind of anthropomorphism kind of shapes of these characters as a human there. Just like a human like there, right? Okay. Check look there, how actually I start to sketch them, right? Using a pencil kind of tools. All right. This is a test for you that you're going to draw them back using my reference over here. Okay. And then if I want to clean up those lines using the brushes there, right? Because these methods of drawings, you're going to apply them back when it comes to develop your ideas in the futures. You want to draw something, always start with the basic shapes. Now, I'm going to clean up the line there, guys. So how actually I'm going to, there's a lot of way to clean up the line. So, but I'm going to clean up the line like this, that is. See? Etching there, right? But when I clean up the line, based on my sketches, am I actually just follow exactly what I did? No, there, right? Can you see there? Okay, I draw the highlight. This is basically the highlight, the shadows, what we call the form of this iris there, okay? And then I'm going to draw basically those eyes here. See, develop the confidence of those eyes over there, the shapes of those circles. So the line looks look like you use in AI. Have you guys using AI there before? Adobe Illustrators? Huh, guys? Have you using AI there before? Adobe Illustrators?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay. How does it feel? Is it great? Is it hard? Hmm? How does it feel when you use AI? We don't use AI over here, but the line work that I produce is basically look like I'm using AI there, right? Huh? The clean kind of line there, right? The clean up kind of line there. Okay. So basically right now I'm going to draw basically those hands that floating. Okay. Don't talk about all this anime manga kind of styles yet. We're talking about to draw a very simple characters, but you can manage to develop basically your kind of understanding how to control the proper kind of line and strokes that way. Yeah. All right, guys. So we get basically those kind of line kind of strokes of these characters over here. I can do a lot from here if I want to. Okay, I can create some nose. Okay, I'm going to put basically some sort of like eyelid over there. Okay, so I can actually create basically some sort of like glasses if I want to, right? Based on the same drawings, or I'm going to reuse them. Okay, I'm going to do another drawings there. Right? Okay. But the thing is, this is the multimedia kind of way to develop the stroke. One of the way, as a multimedia student, to develop those characters there. One of the correct way, not the only way. Remember that, guys. Okay, one of the correct way to develop your kind of stroke as a multimedia student when you design those characters there. Start with sketches, with the shapes, and we end up with the cleanup line again. One of the way, not the only way there, guys. Remember that, guys. Not the only way, but one of the way that you guys can actually start to develop your kind of understanding and skills. Are you guys ready? If you guys ready, okay, sorry, okay. Group 4 is a group 6. If you guys ready there, right? Okay, you can start now. Okay, draw your own characters, all right, based on the books there, right? Okay, based on the books that you choose just now there, right? Because no one actually going to give, okay? One of you guys have given there, okay? So I don't choose there. I don't have any choices there, right? I want you guys to draw the same kind of subject matters, but you're going to do two different layers there. Sketch line and also the ink kind of line there, right? Ink kind of drawings there, okay? This is the sketch line, okay, drawings. This is basically the inking kind of drawings. Okay? Whether you can use your own styles, your own kind of way, your own kind of ideas, but it has to be came from those books. Start now there, right? And then send it over to our WhatsApp group there, okay? You got around how many minutes that you want? You got around 20 minutes that to complete. 4 o'clock, we're going to what we call that, and basically our time there, right? Okay, 20 minutes there. 20 minutes from now. Okay? I want to test your drawing skills over here. Are you ready or not? All right. Start now, guys. Anyone want to share screen? Please share your screen there, right? Anyone want to share screen there? Who is it, right? Carlo there, right? Can you share screen there? Okay, how actually you do work? You work on that, right, Carlo?
Okay.
All right, thank you there, right? Okay. I would just want to call Junmin just now because he's the one actually, right? He's the one basically give this kind of subject matters there. Right, work on that. How come the books open like that? All right, Carlo, all right.
Oh, we can't do it like that.
Take a look back again carefully there, right? Huh?
Okay.
It's sketch, right? You have 20 minutes there. If you're not working, you can actually redraw back again. Don't worry.
Let me get a book first.
Reference. Sketch the basic structures there first, right? Okay. You know the books is came from those. It can become a square or rectangles, right? Okay, depending on the layout and the compositions there. You want to draw the books open up, okay? Good, fine there. But make sure they have the kind of right kind of proportion at the same times. The best way, draw from square there first, and then you can actually write, improvise and modify from that kind of shapes. One of the most important thing that you have to remember, okay, when you sketch your ideas there, how you can get a very firm, smooth, and confidence kind of line there, okay, to develop those kind of structures, the primitive kind of shape that you're going to apply from there. Right, try to balance out between your eyes, the eyes of your characters, and also the faces. All right. Sometimes we can exaggerate a little bit. We don't have to define them as a very symmetrical kind of what we call that alignment there. Okay. You can zoom in there, okay, a bit there, okay, color. The best way for you to sketch, okay, always try to zoom in a little bit, okay, if you want to make a more comfortable kind of shapes there, and stroke at the same times. That's a tit or a butt there, right? You can start with the square also if you want to draw those teeth. Okay, it doesn't have to be the what we call that the half circle sometimes. Okay, depending there, right? Okay, but you can bend the shapes of those square there. Okay, if you want to. How is it there? Hello.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Is it hot?
Not really.
Not really hot.
Yeah.
Okay, I just did basically another drawings over here.
Daram.
Okay, that based on the books, but different kind of positions. And of course, okay, Okay, one of the tricks that make your characters look flexible, always use a 3/4 point of view there. Okay, don't use a straight kind of front kind of view to develop, to visualize your design. Okay, that's basically what I always do when I want to design my characters there. I always start with a 3/4 view there. Okay, to develop those kind of design. All right, anyone actually have complete those kind of drawings? Please share basically in our WhatsApp groups over here. I want to see those results there. Right? All right, please share your screen. Please share basically everyone results there, okay, on this exercise over here. All right, guys, if you take a look right now, okay, my kind of developments over here. I always start with the 3/4 point of view there, right? Okay, to develop my characters there, okay. Right, 3/4 view, not straight line, okay, not front view, but 3/4 view there, right? Okay, 3/4 view there. Okay, this one basically he looked a little bit kind of 3/4, but it's not, okay, but it works on that. Okay, 3/4 there, okay. Why basically we start all those design using this 3/4 view? Because it will look, your design look more dynamic there, okay. Okay, when you draw those from 3/4 kind of point of view. Right? Even though if I don't want to basically use a shoe basically, right, okay, on these characters, okay, on the legs. Okay. When we design back again those characters in 3/4 positions, okay, they will look our design a bit more dynamic there, okay. In this sketch there, okay. See? 3/4 positions there. All right. 3/4 positions there, right? Okay. Whenever that you want to draw a very simple characters like from fruit or orange there, right? Okay, or whatever that things that you're going to do. All right. Right now, start with the 3/4 positions. Okay, 3/4 positions here right now. Okay, 3/4 positions there, guys. Because from 3/4 positions, you can actually portray a lot of great kind of what we call that point of view positions of your design. All right, that's are the things that basically the tips that you guys can actually use on to work on that on your own design, right? Okay. Anyone share your screen, share your basically your result, okay? Send it over to your WhatsApp, right? to our WhatsApp group there, right? Send it over there. Okay, everyone there, right? Right now. 4 o'clock already there, right? All right, Junmin, you the one who actually given basically these subject matters there. Share your screen. I want to see your results over there.
Okay.
It's only a book there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, nice try there. Okay, Junmin there, okay? The book monsters there. Where do you get these ideas from?
I just imagine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Nice try there, okay? Nice try there, okay? It's a good kind of try there, experiment there, okay? On the what we call that, on those design itself there, okay? Anyone else there? Okay, please share basically this design, okay, in our groups there, right? Okay, in our groups there. I want to see how far you guys can actually sketch out your ideas to development, okay? Junmin basically take basically a very good kind of examples. Are you sure you don't actually copy from other people's works over here there, Junmin?
No.
All right.
No.
All right, books, they're right, as a characters, they're right. Okay. Normally, the guys, okay, one of the best way basically, okay, for us, right, to look into our information, okay. I'm not saying it's wrong there, okay. So try to seek for any subject matters there, okay, or design that people actually have been created before. All right, if you can find any kind of reference, any kind of samples there, okay, that people actually have done before, we can use as a part of our guideline there, guys. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong there, okay, but it's a part of our research. Okay, it's a part of our research there. So it's good for you to have more kind of insight of understanding there before you're going to redesign your own kind of characters there, right? Okay, it's a part of our research there, guys. We need to do those kind of research before going to develop them, right? Okay, that's basically one of the criteria, one of the process of developing our design. Okay, please do a little bit kind of research before you're going to work on your kind of ideas there. All right, send it over here. All right, Carlo actually have sent it over. Junmin and the rest of you guys, please send it over there, right? Inside our WhatsApp group here. Okay, whenever that you want to design your kind of characters, always remember, okay, start with the three-quarter view that works, okay? Front view, okay, and of course, okay, when you design our characters, okay, right? Normally, we need to decide, okay, whether how big basically these characters are going to be. Okay, is it basically a one head, or half of the head there? Okay, from this design, basically what I actually have done there, right, is basically half of the head there, right? Okay, basically this is the characters there within one head, but I draw maybe a quarter of the heads, and so those kind of books, and the other part are going to be the legs there. Okay, this one, if you draw or design the characters that based on basically, okay, one of the head basically are going to be the head are going to be the book there, right? Okay, and then how and another shapes of it are going to be the body there, right? So let's just say you want to design basically the head, okay, are going to be look like this, for example there, okay, it can be, okay, yeah. And always put expressions on your design at the same time, right? One of the reason I draw basically this kind of element like this, all right? The shoes are going to be a bit more bigger because I want to balance out with the head itself there, right? Okay, balance out with the head there, right? There. And he looks very confident because he actually is a book there, okay? So the expressions, the positions, okay, of your design also will give a bit more kind of personality of your characters at the same time. Okay, personalities here. Okay, when we actually design those characters there. Remember, guys, okay, when we design those characters there, okay, it's all about to create a personalities of our design there, okay? The personalities of our design there, right? Okay. So when we design the characters, it's a part of the personality that we create there, okay, from those designs. So whether the attitude are going to be sad, funny, confidence, all the thing will be visualized based from your kind of design there, right? Okay. But there's more from here there, right? Okay. But I don't want to touch a bit more. But I just want to give you guys some glimpse on that. And of course, okay, even though I didn't actually look at it, I didn't put basically it's a part of our main kind of what we call the lessons there. I just want to mix around, okay, with your groups over here, okay, because hopefully can give also come idea with other kind of groups, okay, other groups like group 1 until group what we call that group 7 there, okay, other than group 6, is it right? Okay, right now, please take notes here, okay. I just want to give some jamming session for the last group that I have for every week there, okay, because I want you guys, okay, to see the difference there and how to develop basically your skill from here, not only the purpose to develop as a part of your assignments or your project, okay, but it's basically it's a side kind of knowledge that you can bring over later on in your kind of assignments, not from our assignments, but the methods, the developments, the ideas that we develop from here were based from what you're going to experience later on for the future for you when you want to develop any kind of what design kind of process there, right? Okay, so take a look right now, okay, when we ask you guys, okay, when I ask you guys to draw one single character, okay, how many design they actually create right now based on the time that we have? I have draw at least 4 different kind of design. All right, it's all about speed, it's all about methods, techniques there. It's not about those design itself, okay. We can do a lot of different design if you want to there, okay, but the lessons that I want to teach you guys, to tell you guys, to show you guys today, is all about how actually you're going to use your drawing skills, all right, to make a benefit from your drawing skills to develop your ideas there in the futures. All right, that's basically the benefits. That's basically the lessons that we're going to take a look for today. Okay, how basically you develop basically that kind of understanding, okay, in terms of develop your skills. Whatever that we're going to do for our project, basically there, right, are going to be tested in the futures later on when you want to develop your ideas right here. Okay, the project that we did basically is a part of the process of training there. It's a part of your developments there, right? Okay, to develop the right kind of strokes, the right kind of methods there to move your hands in the right way. Okay, if you take a look how actually I sketch out my ideas over here, controlling the strokes, using the tablets, using basically the tools, using the brushes, the right brushes to start with, okay, and to form basically those primitive shape into the element of those characters there, right? That's basically each one of you guys need to develop. Not about those design there, not about the specific design, okay? The way to develop that kind of design. The way you're going to control your pressures there, right? Okay? The right kind of movements to develop your kind of confidence when you want to visualize your ideas. That's basically what we're trying to show right now, okay, to each one of you guys. And of course, for the rest of the groups there, right, okay, for the rest of the group, the guys, okay. So don't say that, okay, I give basically a bit kind of attention to group 6. No, there, right, okay. I actually treat you guys, everyone equal there. But we have to mix them around, okay, because if I actually just show you guys the same thing there, right, okay, not only you are going to be burned out, okay, I'm also going to be burned out, okay. That's why I'm going to be more flexible kind of my time, but we still in the same kind of objective and directions, guys. It's all about how to make those changes when it comes to develop your skills. If you feel hesitate, even though when you draw these very simple kind of drawings, think about that back again. Whether you still need to develop more, improve more on your drawings or not. It's all about develop that kind of confidence there. Okay? All right. Any questions? Please send over your kind of what we call that results over here. All right. Thank you very much there, guys, for participation there, okay? Can you see the Ashira there, okay? There's a few little bit kind of like hesitated, right, okay, when you draw there, right, okay? Even though you draw these kind of sketches like this, can be improved there, okay? Ashira, okay, and the rest of you guys who actually have sent it over there, okay? Take a look back again. What are these characters do? Lying down, is it? Lying down, is it? Right. So be confirmed about all those positions at the same time, okay? But this is a very good start there, okay? The books become bunny there, right, okay? Sketch line there, okay? Structures, okay? Control the pressures in the right way, okay? All this kind of what we call that habits there that you create, okay? Okay, the line works like here, have to be improved a bit more further, right, okay? The sketch line a little bit kind of hesitate, okay? Yun, all right? This one a bit more dynamic, okay? I can see some dynamical kind of movements, okay, on this kind of drawings over here. Who is it, okay? Well done. Are we done? Right. My kind of what we call a nephew named Will done, right? Cheng Dong there, okay? Can you see Cheng Dong, okay? You have that kind of worriedness on those kind of position and the poster, okay? So improve more on your line works and develop that kind of sketches a lot, okay? To create those kind of positions there at the stage there, okay? So try to enjoy yourself to develop all these kind of ideas there, okay, along the way. But you need to develop that as a part of routine there, okay? There'll be kind of details from here, okay? So I don't know whether you get those ideas from, okay? But see the placement of those kind of shoes, okay? The clean up work there, okay? For those kind of inking has to be improved from there. Develop that kind of confidence from there, okay? Now we see the kind of confidence on those line works, all right? On the sketch line over here from Shen Hong there, okay? Right, because so now practice a bit more further on the hands positions, all right? On the arm position, okay? Look weird a little bit from there, all right, okay? All right? But it's fun to see the basic, okay, a different kind of side of you guys, okay? But I think one of the best kind of what we call that characters that I saw from here, this one also a bit kind of a naive kind of drawings there, okay? When you sketch it out, right, okay? How long does it take when you draw them there? Who is it? Okay, Coco is it? Wei Xuan, right? Okay, Wei Xuan, Chi Kit, all right, Chi Kit, right? See, this kind of drawings. How long does it take? Right? Okay, a few seconds can develop this kind of drawings there. Okay, but can you see there is no dynamical kind of design from here? All right. What do you mean dynamic there? Okay, draw the action line poster first. This one, can you see that? Okay, start with a 3/4 view and see the sketch line that he tried to develop from here. All right. So this is one of the best kind of dynamic kind of poses that I can see from your sketches. But it can be improved also there, okay? Because still cannot beat me there, okay? Cannot beat me there, okay, on the sketches there, okay? So please develop, guys, okay? The rest of you guys, please send it over there, okay? Can you see the improvements, okay? You need to find your improvement, your kind of flows when you sketch your ideas there. Please don't draw like this anymore. Check it, okay? Wei Xuan, okay? Ashira, right? Zifeng, even though basically, okay, Coco, basically Coco, they can draw right here, okay? The design is right, okay, good, okay? but try to be more flexible on your design at the same time, okay? When you draw those square there, okay? Because the shapes, okay, this Kyo basically, okay, Kyo design, okay, those characters, okay, lazy enough, okay, sleepy there, okay? Try to make it, okay, the line work is quite okay, okay? The line works very good, okay? The inking line, okay? But the sketch line, they actually apply those design, also important there, okay? But it can be improved more from there, okay? You guys can see basically all this kind of what we call that variety kind of style that can be improved from time to time, okay? But one of the most important thing, if you want to make your design look alike there, always start with the action line that define basically the post itself there, right? Okay. So it's a good kind of practice there, guys. Thank you very much for participations there, okay? So hopefully you guys actually get that kind of lessons right here there, okay? But keep on practicing there, guys, okay? Fine. If you have time, basically not just persuade for your assignments, okay, for your project, okay? You can do all this kind of practice exercise all the time there, okay? Draw any kind of characters based on the subject matters there. Draw part by part, little by little there, okay? One step at a time there, okay? To sketch and develop your ideas at the same time, strain basically your hands there to move. All right? To draw a bit more smoother there, okay? You saw basically how actually I draw just now, how actually I construct basically those lines itself. I didn't care much about whether basically the proportion is right or not at the moment, but when I try to draw them, I try to make sure that the whole things are going to be balanced there, okay? Balanced there, okay? Even though these characters over here, okay? It doesn't look like balanced there, okay? But if you look closely, all right? If you put into those box there, okay? They basically balance. Why they balance itself, okay? I actually put those kind of legs, the foot basically a bit more bigger there, okay? To balance up with the head itself, okay? Balance up with the head there, okay? This one basically, I put the foot basically and the legs a bit kind of like a like a cylinders there, okay? Why I made it into the cylinders there? Because I want to make it the balance that the solid kind of positions of these characters can be stand on the ground, and you saw visually they're actually quite stable there, okay? Those design quite stable there. Of course, okay, there's more that we can go from here, okay, because all this kind of design came from the basic kind of structures there, right, okay? From cylinders, some circles there, okay, they actually create, okay? Because normally when we break down the characters there, okay, we break down the characters into multiple kind of what we call the shapes there, right, okay? So these are the things that you always have to bear in your mind that you work on there, okay? Even though we cannot go through the whole thing completely, right, okay? But hopefully this kind of what we call that directions of understanding will give you a bit kind of like enhancement on your kind of awareness when it comes to design your kind of characters later on in the future. Is that right? Okay. So thank you very much. Right. So I'm enjoying basically, right? Hopefully you guys enjoying your times over here, there, right? Okay. So take a good care of yourself at the same times. Okay. This week, basically, you guys can just submit the progressions of your project too. Progressions only there, okay? Whether you're going to draw based on the constructive line, or you want to draw the sketches line, or you want to add a bit kind of shadings, go ahead there, right? Okay. If you cannot complete them, next week's I want to see you guys can actually work in progressions to complete your assignments there, okay? Your project too there, right? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, thank you very much, guys, for having me this evening. So I see you guys next week there, okay? And I will try basically if I'm not busy with some of the things there, okay? Right now I'm trying to set up some of the things there, okay? I'm going to include another kind of tutorials or demonstrations there, okay? To develop basically back again our elements, our sketch line, how actually going to start with our kind of strokes at the same time, okay? Just like the demonstration that I did right now, but I'm going to explain a little bit there, okay? Using basically my OBS kind of recording sessions there. So thank you guys, okay, for having me. All right, okay. I hope you guys can learn something from here, and also keep on practicing at the same time, okay? So please take notes, improve more on your sketch line and strokes, okay, during this kind of sessions, that during this kind of projects there, right, okay? So Take care. Have a good kind of evening. Have a good kind of weekend. All right, and stay safe. And I'll see you guys next sessions. Bye bye. That right.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. That right.
Thank you.